Good day, LifeVantage, and welcome to the Global Convention. I'm so honored to be one of the presenters. My name is Dr. Sveta Silverman. I live in sunny, or maybe cold, Alberta, Canada, and I practice surgical pathology. I tell people that I am the doctor you do not want to know because I diagnose cancers. However, I am the doctor you do want to know because I teach health, I live health, and I promote health at every single opportunity. So I was introduced to LifeVantage in 2013 by Marisa Harrelson, now Elite Pro 8. And the only thing I knew after the presentation that I have attended, I wanted those 5 in my body. I wanted NRF2 Protandim. I had no idea what NRF2 was. Didn't I little understand or understood about oxidative stress, but I wanted turmeric, bacopa, ashwagandha, milk thistle, and green tea. Amazing, amazing nutrients in my body. Let's talk about oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? Well, simply speaking, it is a free radical abundance. It's a barrage of free radicals that inadvertently going to damage your cells. Not only is going to damage your cells, it's going to frail your cells and make your cells old. So now, how do we combat oxidative stress? Obviously, everybody knows that there are antioxidants. And we are taught to eat antioxidants, but we need to know and learn and start making our antioxidants. And I'm introducing another term, synergy. There is a synergy between eating antioxidants and making antioxidants. So how do we make antioxidants? And before, our antioxidants, they are so potent. And the other presenters will tell you again and again that one of our antioxidants can eliminate over 1 million free radicals per second, every second. Very, 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 very powerful. Now, how do we turn on our antioxidants? It is called NRF2 activator, via NRF2 activator. I learned NRF2 since 2013, and since then I'm a student of it. Attended 3 out of 5 world NRF2 conferences, presented at 2. So it's very important to me to say that NRF2, and quote, is a guardian of health span and gatekeeper of species longevity because it addresses one of the theories of aging, oxidative stress. And it is an intricate and integral part of sustaining cellular integrity and functionality. Oxidative stress damages mitochondria. You will hear about it later. But mitochondria, dysfunctional and aging mitochondria, is going to produce multiple free radicals, which are going to inadvertently damage a cell. Now, NRF2, as you see, is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in foreseeable future. So exciting that I represent one of the most extraordinary breakthroughs in the history of health. Now, how does it work? So you've got a free radical damage or barrage of free radicals. It's going to turn on that dimmer switch, that NRF2. That's what we are upregulating, because the older we get, the less we're turned on. So let's upregulate this NRF2. Then what happens? NRF2 knocks on the door of our DNA, turning on our genes of antioxidant genes. You know some of them as glutathione, the master antioxidant of the cells, amongst others. Now, what about NRF2 Protandim synergy? As you see, each and every ingredient, which is amazing, turn on NRF2 by little bits. And then together, by itself, 1 plus, it's 14.8 in summary. However, when we put them together in the composition of NRF2 Synergizer, the effect tripled. And now you see the number of 35. What is so important for me as a clinician? The safety and efficacy. So LifeVantage conducted the study and proved that not only NRF2 Protandim works, but it works what is called in physiological and safe manner. So we start with the basal line, basal level, when we take NRF2 Protandim, the maximum is in 12 hours, and then it goes back to baseline in 24, exactly the way physiology and cell intended. It is called pulsatile or wave-like manner. So guys, thank you so very much for the opportunity to be a LifeVantager, for the opportunity to be a presenter at the Global Convention, and to be a part of this very exclusive group. Let me introduce an amazing Dr. Deborah Viglione.
Thank you very much, Sveta, and welcome LifeVantage. I'm so happy to be able to present today. I am an internal medicine doctor, and I also practice anti-aging regenerative medicine. I have board certification in both. I practiced in sunny Gulf Breeze, Florida. It's a great place to live unless you're being hit by hurricanes. So today I'm going to talk to you about how we make energy and NRF1 activation. You can see in the back of this slide, those are actually pictures of real live mitochondria. I'm going to teach you how to keep them healthy. Now, as an anti-aging physician, people come to me with complaints of aging. The biggest one is, doctor, I'm tired. I don't have the energy that I want. I can't do the things that I want to do. And how can I improve that? They also complain that their brain isn't working the way they want it to, and they can't maintain a healthy weight. So this is a slide of Gabe Pearson. He's an amazing, amazing surfer. He surfs all over the world, catches waves that are just absolutely huge and scare the daylights out of me. And I would bet that he wants to continue doing that the rest of his life. He's one of our master Pro 10 distributors. The next one is Dr. Shawn McKee, and she'll be presenting after me. She's a world-class triathlete, and that shows her winning one of her races. But interestingly, it was fatigue that brought her to LifeVantage. She wasn't recovering from her races well or her training. Now that's me up on the right. One of my favorite things to do is be tugged behind a power boat going as fast as I can on a slalom ski. It's crazy. I love it. It's invigorating, and it's hard to do, and I want to be able to do that the rest of my life. So what I'm going to talk about are mitochondria. Those are the bean-shaped structures in every cell in our body except for red blood cells. They're literally taking food and converting it into energy, and energy is called ATP. It has a nucleotide called adenosine. We've got a sugar molecule, ribose, and 3 phosphate groups, ATP. That is the biochemical term for energy in our body. So our heart muscle has the most mitochondria with greater than 5,000 per cell because it's beating 24/7. But your brain is probably second, and it's working full time as well. But your muscles, your liver, and even your fat cells have a lot of mitochondria in them. So what's the problem as we age? Why are they going away? And Dr. Sveta alluded to that. Our oxidative stress is killing them off. But the interesting thing is the mitochondria, in the process of making that ATP, making energy, are putting off free radicals that we call reactive oxygen species. That is the waste or exhaust product that they make as just in doing the business, everyday business, just like we blow out carbon dioxide or a car puts out exhaust. So they are literally killing themselves. If we did not have that NRF2 pathway, we would all be dead because it's helping support our mitochondria so they don't die. But we can do something even more. We can flip the switch on a pathway called NRF1. We can make more mitochondria. That pathway is the primary pathway that makes mitochondria. So when we flip that switch, we can feel better and do more no matter what our age is. So LifeVantage has put together a synergy of ingredients. It's a precise formula or recipe. And in that particular recipe, it's flipping that switch on. Each one of those ingredients you see does wonderful things in the body. Acetyl-L-carnitine is great for the brain. Quercetin is a big-time antioxidant, does multiple things in our body. But I want to talk a little bit about CoQ10 because people think of that as what they need to support their mitochondria, and it is. It supports the mitochondria. It's part of the process. It's an ingredient the mitochondria uses to make energy, but it's nothing like what we're doing here where we're flipping a switch on a pathway that makes more mitochondria. So What's happening is the mitochondria start working with NAD. NAD is turning that mitochondria on, and all those squiggles in this are where it's actually happening. It's called the electron transport chain. And when that's running, you're taking old NAD, it's called NADPH or NADH. It's not functional, it turns it or recycles it back into active NAD, and then that NAD is used to make more ATP. So I'm going to turn this over now to our wonderful star triathlete in LifeVantage, Dr. Shawn McKee.
Hello, Deborah. Thank you so much for that introduction. As she said, I'm Dr. McKee. I'm a neuroradiologist and another one of the doctors that you don't want to need their services. I've been biohacking with nutrigenomics for about 8.5 years, and today I'm excited to talk to you about NAD. So what exactly is NAD? Well, it's one of the most important molecules for life. Without it, we would die within 30 seconds. It's absolutely critical for the production of energy in all of our cells, our brain, our immune, our blood cells, our muscle, and our heart. It helps with healthy blood sugar and insulin regulation, as well as fatty acid mobilization for a healthy metabolism. And it does all of this in response to stress. NAD actually drives our circadian rhythms. It helps with mobilization of recycling of faulty parts or autophagy, cellular cleanup, and it helps promote mitochondrial biogenesis. So there are many reasons we would want to boost NAD levels. Number one, as we age, our production of NAD from scratch declines, and more important, NAD salvage and recycling, the main pathway which we generate NAD, diminishes significantly. And these both happen simultaneously with the fact that our demand for NAD increases with age, because NAD is the fuel for proteins that protect and repair our DNA. So our NAD gets used up at higher rates as we age, and by the time we're 60, our NAD levels are reduced by 40%. Boosting NAD helps support healthy aging in a number of ways. It supports healthy protein synthesis. It increases mitochondrial number and function. It helps to remove zombie cells, which are aging cells or senescent cells that are very, very toxic. It supports proper epigenetics and maintains healthy DNA integrity. It assists with proper immune function, including the regulation of a healthy inflammatory response. And interestingly, it helps maintain lower levels of abdominal fat. So NAD is actually the only fuel, the sole substrate, the food for a couple of important sets of proteins that are responsible for DNA repair and protection. One of these is a family of proteins called the sirtuins that act as the CEO of our cells. They tell all of the other proteins and enzymes where to go and what to do. And these proteins activity, the sirtuin activity, is actually increased whenever the body is exposed to stress, something like calorie restriction or high intensity exercise. In fact, the increase in the activity of the sirtuin proteins is one of the main factors responsible for the amazing health benefits of high intensity interval training and intermittent fasting. So obviously, increasing sirtuin activity is a very good thing. These lifestyle interventions of a little bit of stress or hormesis are the main ways we've previously been able to increase sirtuin activity. In fact, chronic calorie restriction will raise sirtuin activity by 94%, which is good, but it is accompanied by many unpleasant effects like grumpiness and hunger and possible nutritional deficiencies. So recently it's been shown that adding a couple of the precursors of NAD or raw ingredients can actually increase sirtuin activity, but actually not as much as you would think, because remember, most of our NAD is synthesized through recycling or salvage. And if you add these precursors, you can increase sirtuin activity by only 2% in 24 hours, up to 40% after several weeks. Now, a better way would be to upregulate the enzymes not only responsible for de novo synthesis from scratch of NAD, but also the enzymes responsible for recycling or salvage, which is what NAD Synergizer does. If you take our NAD Synergizer in 24 hours, sirtuin activity is upregulated 100%. And I am so excited to know that there is a simple inexpensive and fast way to double our sirtuin activity. And next, we're going to learn about a way to enhance even that more with the synergy of the Protandim family from Dr. Neil Goodman.
Hey, Sean, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm going to share my screen for everybody here. There we go. As Sean mentioned, I'm Dr. Neil Goodman. I'm a pediatrician and a distributor from St. Simons Island, Georgia. And I'm also a member of the Science Advisory Board of LifeVantage. And my passion is to help people achieve wellness and to make the science simple. The Synergizer is the ultimate unification of the science of synergy. Not only of the individual ingredients, like we understand from that of Protandim NRF2, but also of the synergy of all three Synergizer products. They are all working together to energize, neutralize, and revitalize. These three theories of aging don't just work in a vacuum. There's overlap in how they each affect each other. The benefits of flipping the switch on one signaling system impacts the other two, and this is the beauty of Synergy. This oversimplified graphic of a circle represents our body's 37 trillion cells. The dark ring represents the surfaces of our body, such as skin, hair, and lungs, and the lighter ring represents our microbiome and all the microscopic organisms that live on us and in us. And in the center, there's that metabolic factory called the mitochondria that are used to make energy and that remove toxins and waste. And there's also a DNA helix in the center, and that's your genetic instruction set. All of these systems are controlled by complex cell signaling pathways that make them work. Look how your body is affected by all of the environmental, physical, and emotional stressors. This oxidative stress and free radical damage negatively affects your DNA, your mitochondria, your metabolism, and your gut. These stressors actually hijack your very sensitive body systems, and it adds up over time. As you recall, flipping the switch of NRF2 activates a protein in all of our cells that turns on over 400 survival and housekeeping genes. This is how we neutralize. It's all about reducing free radicals by a 1 to 1 million ratio, which results in reducing your oxidative stress by an amazing 40% in 30 days, and more over time. It does this by creating high levels of chemical neutralizers, which are key players in our antioxidant defense system. The neutralizing effect of Protandim NRF2 is 1,800% greater than any one of the contained 5 individual ingredients. Simply amazing. Now let's talk about Protandim NRF1. It's all about mitochondria and how we energize. NRF1 helps our mitochondria by not only increasing their numbers, but by keeping them healthy and functioning at their best. We can now metabolize better so that we can generate more life-giving ATP, which is our body's energy or fuel. This ultimately supports physical endurance and stamina, and it also supports our ability to be mentally alert. See what happened when we flipped the energy switch with Protandim NRF1? The number of mitochondria multiply. This causes the factory power and energy production to be increased. All things that require energy are improved with healthy mitochondria, and that's how Protandim NRF1 Synergizer and Protandim NRF2 Synergizer actually help each other. Now we can do more physical and mental work and not be so tired. That's what two Synergizers do together. Now, finally, we have the ability to flip the third revitalized switch with Protandim NAD Synergizer. Protandim NAD Synergizer activates the enzymes that make more NAD. NAD is an important chemical cofactor that helps in so many pathways in the body that everything that Protandim NRF2 and NRF1 already activate are further accelerated by the healthy presence of NAD. It also supports healthy longevity by sirtuin proteins. It supports our mental and physical energy, mood and motivation, and mental focus and concentration. This multiplication effect is the infamous Synergizer effect. So what we have here are 3 highly interactive signaling products that flip the switch on 3 different signaling pathways that come together to address the 3 theories of aging. This chart shows what Synergy does When you put all three products together compared with using just each of the one of the products alone, NRF1 energizing is further increased by 69%. NRF2 neutralizing is further increased by 1,563%, and NAD revitalizing is further increased by 1,792%. Absolutely unheard of. So here's your team of cellular activators, the Synergizer, flipping the switches on your cellular pathways to energize, neutralize, and revitalize so that you can feel better and do more. And thank you so much for this opportunity to present at the 2020 Global Convention.